Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today we need to talk about the Ascended Heroes Booster Bundle. We need to talk about the fact that the Ascended Heroes Booster Bundle went up for pre-order on the Pokémon Center. And we need to talk about the fact that I think it was largely successful. Now, there are two big questions we need to address before we get too deep into that. First one here, why did it go up for pre-order so quickly? Because this product isn't out for ages. It's the end of November right now. It went up for pre-order on the 25th of November. The release date here is the 24th of April. Now, for those of you that are doing your maths, I think that's like 5 months. 1 day shy of 5 months before release, these went up for pre-order. Why did Pokemon put these up for pre-order 5 months before release? To put it in context, the Elite Trainer Box went up for pre-order 1 day earlier, and the Elite Trainer Box comes out in February, 2 months earlier. And yet it went up for pre-order 1 day earlier, despite coming out 2 months earlier. What's going on? And my theory here, and I know I am not the only one that shared this, my theory here is it's not quite print to order, but it's basically print to order. Basically, Pokemon are going, you know what? Go for it. We're only going to put it up for pre-order for so long, but we are going to basically put it up for pre-order, and then if we end up getting ridiculous amount of orders, even more than we're expecting, we got 5 months to print them. That is why you would put something up for pre-order so gosh darned early. The reason you do it so early is because you know you're going to have to print a bunch, so you know what? Putting it up nice and early gives you a number. You know exactly how many have been ordered, and then you've got 5 months to get them printed. Because did anyone else notice, and I'm sure I'm not the only one, it was smooth yesterday. Like, I was in 2 days ago for the Elite Trainer Box pre-order on the Pokémon Center. I did a video about it yesterday. We talked all about it, and the Elite Trainer Box was not as smooth as I would ideally have liked. It took much longer to get in. There seemed to be far more problems. And to be fair, I did get out with my ETBs, and that was lovely. But it was pretty stressful. The Ascended Heroes Booster Bundle, like, I didn't get in there and have this thing telling me it was going to be 6 hours. It said about 2.5. I got in, well, why would I guess? Let me go check the numbers here. So I joined at 4:41 p.m. and I know because I messaged my friend saying, oh, I've just joined. And I was worried because I didn't see the message for like 13 minutes because I was picking up my kid from school. I checked out at 5:39. 58 minutes. 2 minutes shy of an hour it took me to check out yesterday. And I didn't join the queue immediately. My friend messaged me. I was picking up my kid from her after school club. Got home. Joined the queue, made tea, and then right as tea was finishing being made, right as I was dishing my kids' tea up, I'm like, oh, it's ready. I can do the tea's ready, but also I'm at the front of the queue. And I checked out. And it was lovely. It was incredibly smooth. There were no issues yesterday. From my end, personally, I know, and look, as I always say with these videos, but let me say explicitly now, when I say it was smoother and nicer, I mean, from my experience and what I can see around online, it was a lot smoother and nicer, especially compared to the Elite Trainer Boxes. I do not mean that it was perfect. I am not saying that every single person got what they wanted. I am not saying that people weren't left disappointed. I am saying it was smoother and it was nicer. Because one thing I did yesterday evening after I'd gone through, I gave it a little bit of time, and I did what I like to do in this situation. I just went on Twitter and I searched Booster Bundle to see what people were talking about. And I saw a bunch of tweets like this one from Frenchie's Card Vault. Wasn't able to grab the Ascended Heroes ETBs yesterday, but was able to snag the booster bundles. Did anyone else manage to get in on the pre-order? I'm not going to keep showing you tweet after tweet along these lines, but I'm telling you, I found a bunch of them. A bunch of tweets pretty much exactly like this, of people saying, I didn't get in on the Elite Trainer box, and that really sucked, but hey, I got in on that one. And this is excellent, excellent news. Now, what I will say is, here was essentially my experience of it and what I could find around online. People who got in the window seemed to be good. The wait wasn't horrendous. You didn't have to get there immediately, and people seemed to get through. What I will say is, the window was quite small. There was a couple of hours. There was a couple-hour window where you could get in and order this, but if you didn't get in that couple-hour window, you did miss out. It was a fairly small window. We're talking couple of hours, maybe a little bit longer. And if you got in that window, it seemed pretty good. The queue wasn't as bad. Everything seemed to be smoother. If you didn't get in that window, then it did seem like things were pretty bad. Now, I will say, the Elite Trainer Box drop happened the day after LAIC, when everyone's traveling home for the Latin American International Championships. That was not ideal. Having this not the day after a major event was a win. That made me happy. I wasn't at LAIC, but as I've told you multiple times, I missed the Phantasmal Flames drop on the Pokémon Center because the drop happened when I was on my way home from Frankfurt Regionals. I casted Frankfurt Regionals, and while traveling home, I missed the Phantasmal Flames drop. Yes, obviously I tried to join on my phone, but when you're on a train, your signal drops in and out, and when it comes back in, it reloads the web page, you lose your space in the queue, and round we go. Not an ideal situation. And yeah, there were still people that were having error messages, but I saw fewer reports, and this is rather anecdotal, so take this with a pinch of salt, but I saw fewer people complaining about this yesterday than there was for the Elite Trainer Box. But there's another thing which we do need to mention here, and I don't really get this. Yesterday I told you that the limit of 2 Elite Trainer Boxes seemed a bit silly, and I said they should have been limited to 1 to let more people in. Well, the booster bundle was limited to 4. And the thing about the booster bundle is, as I've told you many times before, this is the best way to buy packs of a set like this, a special set where you can't buy booster boxes. It is just 6 packs for the price of 6 packs. But it was limited to 4. And don't get me wrong, that's 24 packs, that's not even a booster box. That's like 2/3 of a booster box. And I know that Pokemon wants people to be able to get hold of this set and all of that. But seeing it limited to 4 and then seeing it sell out in a couple of hours and have people complaining they didn't get in, it seems... And don't get me wrong, I want this set. Most people ordered 4 of these. The limit was 4. If you're somebody that wants to collect the set, you probably bought 4 of these. There are a bunch of mechanically unique new cards like that Mega Charizard Y that are going to be in this set, and we have not seen all the mechanically unique cards yet. But we know there's going to be a bunch in there. And to be fair, that Poképad item that looks absolutely ridiculous, it's the one that lets you search for a non-rule box Pokemon, that is going to be in this set. Well, it's not guaranteed, but we're pretty sure is going to be in this set, and everyone is going to need a play set of that. So I get why they put it at a limit of 4, because people want a bunch of this set, but there is an element of, well, hang on a second, you put it at a limit of 4. If you'd put it at a limit of like 2, way more people could have got it. Now, it's not such a big deal as the Pokémon Center Elite Trainer Box. The Pokémon Center Elite Trainer Box has different packaging to the regular Elite Trainer Box, so people keeping sealed collections really do need this one. And also, it does have that extra promo, the Pokémon Center Stamped End Zekrom, which is only available in the Pokémon Center Elite Trainer Box. There's a regular version in every Elite Trainer Box, but the Stamped is only in the Pokémon Center. So that one, I really feel like it should have been one per person, because there's things you can only get from the Pokémon Center, whereas the booster bundle is going to be sold far and wide. So even if you miss the booster bundle on the Pokémon Center, it's going to be stocked in a whole bunch of other places. And the fact that it was so smooth yesterday for a lot of people, I'm not saying everyone, and the fact that it was limited to 4 suggests to me that Pokemon really are going overboard trying to print as many of these as they can. Remember, the booster bundle comes out 3 months after the first wave of products like the Tech Sticker Collection, and my theory on this has always been that they do this to allow them to print more. It allows them to get more of these out there on the shelves, and that makes perfect sense. Give them an extra 3 months to do the printing. So, no, it wasn't perfect, and I am not saying it was perfect, and I'm not saying there weren't disappointed people. I know that there were. But I'm telling you that the queue was quicker and shorter than it was for the Elite Trainer box. I'm telling you that from what I can see, it was smoother than the Elite Trainer box, and the fact that it's less exciting, because there's nothing exclusive about getting it on the Pokémon Center, probably helped quite a bit. But this was one of the easiest Pokémon Center drops I've seen, and this seemed to be a good thing. That's what I think. I want to know what you think. Tell me what you thought about this. Tell me if you got in. Tell me if you think the limit of 4 was a bit silly. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice. And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWasi. That's where we talk about Pokemon and a whole bunch of other card games. And please do consider checking out patreon.com/PTCG Radio, where you can support the channel, get some bonus podcasts, join a Discord, and all kinds of fun things. And get shout-outs on the channel like the lovely Zarek Paris, who's been a supporter of ours for a long time now and seems to be a very lovely person. So shout out to them for the support and the loveliness. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.